Manhattan area of New York. Manhattan is a kind of a Long Island with the, Central Park and, all the high rises. And this is iconic, the World Trade Center Tower. There's the One World Trade Observatory. I've been on top of the tower. You get a spectacular view of, the Manhattan and all the, Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge and, Williamsburg Bridge, the, Statue of Liberty and all this. The symbolic height of this is 1776 feet, which is the year of American independence proclamation. Tragically, there were twin towers before. Those were destroyed by a terrorist attack, and then they rebuilt the tower, and it was done in 2012. And then, as I told you, the height is 1776 feet or 541 meters, representing the year of American independence. And this is the iconic Manhattan area with all the sky rises and, the financial district, the stock exchange where money is made and lost, and, the great American companies and so on. So this is one of the most iconic areas in the whole. This is Manhattan, New York, and this is iconic Times Square. We see this, I've seen it many times on TV, YouTube, etc. Those are like the displays. And yeah, these are the steps. And, this is the iconic Times Square in Manhattan, New York. Manhattan now has all these high-rise buildings. So it's one of the most iconic places on the planet. So this is Manhattan and this is the Times Square. This is the iconic Manhattan, and this is the iconic St. Patrick's Cathedral in the middle of Manhattan, and we see the, the high skyscrapers all around. So, this is iconic Manhattan and, probably the greatest city in the world, New York. I'm on top of the iconic Empire State Building, which was built in 1930-31. It was just built in 1 year, 45 days. That was an iconic thing, and we all remember the iconic, people hanging and, taking their lunch and meal. And behind me, we see the iconic Manhattan and the One World Trade Tower. Luckily, we could also see it's a clear day, so the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge on this side. It's lighting around, and this is the iconic New York Manhattan skyline. This is the basis for other Manhattans around, Singapore, Korea, Japan, China, everywhere. So Manhattan style building. So this is the iconic Empire State Building in New York, Manhattan area in New York, and behind me you see the kind of the north side of Manhattan, and the JP Morgan buildings, the East River, the United Nations building. This side is the Hudson River. A spectacular Manhattan style, and this height is about 380 meters, and then the total tower is 443 meters. So Empire State Building is an iconic building they built within just 1 year, 45 days. So in 1930-31 during the Great Depression times, and the iconic people hanging and the maids taking the maids and so on. So this is the iconic Manhattan, and this is the basis for other, high-rise districts around the world, being Singapore, Korea, Japan, China, everywhere. So this is the iconic Empire State. I'm in New York, Manhattan, New York, and this is the iconic Empire State Building, and this is between the Hudson River and New Jersey on the other side, and the East River on this side, and that's the kind of
Oh, I'm sorry.
this we are able to see the Statue of Liberty, the world, One World Observatory Tower, and then the iconic Brooklyn bridges and the Manhattan Bridge, and then there's the United Nations, and this is the south side of Manhattan, and iconic Manhattan with these huge tall buildings. Right, and this is this building itself is 380 meters long and 443 meters. We are in the open space. It's really chilly, very cold, but spectacular Manhattan and New York. Yeah, this is Manhattan, New York, and this is the Hudson Yards development. It was developed over railroad tracks, and it's really spectacular. I'm top of the Empire State Building. It's about 380 meters and 442 meters to the top. And this is exciting Manhattan on the you see the Hudson River in New Jersey, and that side is the JP Morgan building. They built it with $3 billion. And in Manhattan, what happens is they buy the air rights of the adjacent buildings. And so one building will be super tall, and then the remaining buildings cannot build for life. So this is a spectacular Manhattan, and that side is the One World Observatory. Statue of Liberty is almost just walking around. This is a spectacular Manhattan.
Yes.
I'm on top of the iconic Empire State Building, which was built in 1930-31. It was just built in 1 year, 45 days. That was an iconic thing, and we all remember the iconic, people hanging and taking their lunch and meal. And behind me, we see the iconic Manhattan and the One World Trade Tower. Luckily, we could also see it's a clear day, so the Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge on this side. It's lighting around, and this is the iconic New York Manhattan skyline. This is the basis for other Manhattans around Singapore, Korea, Japan, China, everywhere. So Manhattan style building. So this is the iconic Empire State Building. This is the best view of even the New Jersey, the harbor kind of. Then we see the Manhattan
That
and
makes sense because then they were talking about coming back by the 30. Yes, makes sense.
we see the big buildings and like cars are
Not the French
moving.
Pavilion.
Cars are like moving like ants actually.
Yeah.
The roads and the car like moving like ants actually. Yeah, the roads and we see the cars moving like small ants actually. We also see the New Jersey side of things, yeah. The river, the Hudson River, and the New Jersey side of things, yeah. We get a very good view of Manhattan. Now the Manhattan Bridge is also very clearly visible. Yeah, we are in the 86th floor and it looks like this. The ceiling looks like this, yeah. This is the Times Square, the Central Park, and there are a lot of, I don't know what do you see in this, but we are now on the east side, and this is the East River. Yeah, we see where is the MetLife and MetLife building, and this is the new JP Tower, JP Morgan Tower. Yeah, it costs about $3 billion to build it. And the iconic bridges. Yeah, again the railway bridge. What is it called? Yeah, this is the railway bridge on the East River.
There is a subway in Grand Central.
So all the other iconic buildings again. This is on the east side of the river. What we saw before was on the south side. The One World Observatory Tower. We are seeing on the east side. Apart from the Manhattan side, of course, just New York tapers down to normal buildings here. Once these towers are gone, then there are normal buildings. Only Manhattan is really iconic. Otherwise, the other part of New York is okay, normal buildings that we find everywhere. We see the roads and the cars looking like small ants. See the buildings, iconic buildings. This Empire State Building is a total height of 443 meters, including a spire, and observatory is at a height of 380 meters. So, we see this MetLife building and the iconic water bodies, and at a distance we also find other bridge. So this is iconic. Yeah, one more railway. Yeah, this is a Chrysler building, if I'm right. Yeah. And then this is a JP Morgan new building. It's maybe not visible from this side, but beside the MetLife there is also the JP Morgan new building with the setbacks. This is the it's cost about $3 billion to build, and the JP Morgan's new headquarters. For that, in this Manhattan, there is a concept called the sky space is actually sky is also a space, and that's actually bought from other developers so that they can build more height, right? For example, if this building is lower height, then they will the adjacent developers probably will buy the height above the buildings, and they will increase the height of their buildings. Actually, that's called air rights, and that's really spectacular. Yeah, you see this. The buses and cars are looking like small ants from the sky. It's so. If you see a train from here, it will be spectacular actually. But there are only underground trains here. So we see this, yeah. It's really spectacular. This is the east side of the river, and then there is some power plant running there. It's taken a turn, and the east side has taken a turn. That side there is a power plant, and there's a power plant here running there. Kind of, if I'm right, it must be. Then we are also able to see the Manhattan Bridge actually. The Manhattan Bridge, and then this side's once the east side, East River. Yeah, this is probably the United Nations building. Yeah, this is the United Nations building.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the iconic buildings, all the other icon. Yeah, that's the United Nations building. So that's the Queens and Brooklyn sides of New York. New York has 5 boroughs. Manhattan, of course, is our most iconic, and all the buildings, spectacular buildings on the planet. And then Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, and the other one is, I think, Staten Island. So 5 boroughs, yeah. And then there is the New York State with the headquarters of the capital, Albany. New York State is a big city. But the New York City itself is.
See, Nana, this is how you take a. So there's no glare.
Oh yeah, I already know that.
What do you got?
Ooh, this is very nice. You stand or take picture?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Can you take that picture now?
What's that? It's okay. It's okay. It's
I
okay.
don't, not that side. This side. This side.
What's that over there?
Can you take a picture? Take one picture.
अरे भैया Stop where you want. Myru, Myru,
Okay? Done? Cheese?
I didn't move a step forward.
Oh, she can't move.
Wait, no, no, yeah, no.
Don't move her. Myru, cheese. Cheese.
Okay, look here, Myru, look here.
Don't touch
Up
her.
here.
No, don't squish her.
Yeah, once the skyscrapers are finished, the rest of the part looks normal. I mean, those are normal buildings you can find around the world.
Myru, look here.
No,
look
don't
here.
squish her.
Anu, look here. Anya, keep looking. And stop eating your.
See the buses, and
Smile,
they're looking like
smile.
small ants actually. It's looking very amazing and exciting.
Myru.
We again come to the south side, the World Trade Observatory building and the Statue of Liberty.
It looks so beautiful. Helen, come here and take a picture inside this one.
You also see the New Jersey skyline. You see again tapping off. Once it taps off, then they're not. But I find everywhere. I'm on the top of the Empire State Building, and behind me is the iconic World Observatory, and that's 541 meters long, tall, and this is 443 meters tall. And then there is the Statue of Liberty just behind. It's like a small one World Observatory, and then there are the Brooklyn bridges. There is the Manhattan Bridge, there is the railway bridge, and then the United Nations, and there is New Jersey, and all the iconic Manhattan skyline. Building in New York, Manhattan area in New York, and behind me you see the kind of the north side of Manhattan, and the JP Morgan buildings, the East River, the United Nations building. This side is the Hudson River. A spectacular Manhattan skyline, and this height is about 380 meters, and then the total tower is 443 meters. So Empire State Building is an iconic building. They built within just 1 year, 45 days. So in 1930-31 during the Great Depression times, and the iconic people hanging and the maids taking the maids on side. So this is the iconic Manhattan, and this is the basis for other high-rise districts around the world, be it Singapore, Korea, Japan, China, area. So this is the iconic Empire State. This is kind of the north side of the Manhattan, and then after these buildings, these tall, slender buildings, right? That we see the three tall, slender buildings. This one and this one, and the other one. Yeah, this one. That's called the Billionaires Row, and once after that you have the Central Park coming up, and then rest of the Manhattan actually usually tapers off it. It's like a normal district in many parts of the world. But this is iconic Manhattan, from the kind of the north side. Where the other side we saw the south side and the one World Observatory, right? And then we really see how iconic it is, and we really see this. These three tall, slender buildings, right? That constitutes the Billionaires Row, the Steinway Building, and then there are the names. And this is the JP Morgan Building. Yeah, this is the JP Morgan Building. $3 billion was approximately the cost. MetLife Building. I think behind, near the MetLife Building is the Grand Central Terminal, right? Because these JP Morgan buildings bought something known as air rights, which means they can buy the airspace above, and then that's the reason they can construct a taller building than other buildings. Because then other buildings would not be permanently able to construct taller than this current. If you really look at these slender buildings, right? These three slender buildings. Because the apartments within those buildings are like, they cost in millions, tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars. We see the New Jersey side as well with the, kind of the Hudson River.
Alright, I got it.
The work.
Chrysler building, yeah, it's visible. You see the road below actually. The yellow cars and iconic yellow New York cars. So all these buildings have kind of the setbacks. The one of the reason is for the sunlight to reach the floor, and iconic features of these buildings include the elevators, the lamps, the energy conservation measures that they take, the water conservation measures that they take, and each of these buildings have if you really look at those buildings, some of the floors are dedicated for maintenance, and then because they have huge dampers, actual dampers.
Jingle bells ring and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing to fly, the walking has begun. Ring and beat.
Yeah, this is the east side and the East River.
People either going to use the middle or around.
Crisscross of roads, right?
Oh, look at that.
How iconic the building is, really beautiful it is.
But I'm not gonna know what digital photos you're gonna get. You can pick the four, or you can pick all.
This is how the staircases in the Empire State Building looks like. They're very old, right? 100 years old almost, 1930-31, right? So these are iconic staircases. I'm just boarding all the 6 floors from the 80 to the 86th floor. So this is how the staircases look like. The Empire State Building is 380 meters high and 443 to the spire. So this is almost 100 years of construction. That's the reason you see these iron, right? Love this actually. When once we walk inside the Statue of Liberty, also it's like this is 19th century and early 20th century engineering, right? See how the top looks like. Yeah, really iconic. Just yeah. See this piping. See the pipings and iconic engineering. These nuts and yeah, we are come to the 86th floor. We board at 6 floors. Yeah, the stairs, I think, almost ending. See this metal engineering, the 19th century and 20th century engineering. Yeah, we made it to the top.
You want to go outside? Let's go. Yeah, go. Come. Oh my God.
I'm in New York, Manhattan, New York, and this is the iconic Empire State Building. And this is between the Hudson River and New Jersey on the other side, and the East River on this side. And that's the kind of
Oh, I'm sorry.
this we are able to see the Statue of Liberty, the world, one world observatory tower, and then the iconic Brooklyn bridges, and the Manhattan Bridge, and then to the east, this is the United Nations, and this is the south side of Manhattan, and iconic, Manhattan with these huge tall buildings, right? And this is this building itself is 380 meters long and 443 meters. We are in the open space. It's really chilly, very cold, but spectacular Manhattan and New York.